Hi, Kathy. Okay, great. Thanks for the information. I can help you with this. Okay, so first thing is, let's take a look at here's the width of the menu right here. We can widen this by about 40 pixels. That's going to help. And here's where we do it. And I'm going to upload this back to your test folder, so if you want to download it from there. But in the theme.css, the content left, there's a 25 pixel padding top and bottom and a 20 pixel padding on the menu left and right. But because we're all using white background space here, doesn't really, not really required, right? So let me go back to what page was I on there? Right there. There we go. All right, I noticed this logo is fixed, so we'll have to change that as well. I think we probably, anyways, here's the width now. Let's just make an adjustment. Let's take the padding off the left and the right. Okay. Now see, that's going to give us 40 more pixels to play with. It's going to widen it out in the page a little bit, but not a bad thing, right? Because you don't have a lot of, like I said, if you go to some of the other pages, I was looking to see, you still have lots of room from the side of the content, and we're good to go there. All right. Now what happens is, let's open up a menu here, and the other thing is the padding on the sub menu. I'm going to adjust that as well, right? Or that would be the indent. What do you call it? The text indent, or 275. So shared 417, right? So we're going to go to the shared 417. And this is really always one of these things that you may need to adjust. The reason being is with the sub menus, I always think it looks, if you have just like one word and it's crammed way over here up against the left, I think it looks kind of icky. It looks kind of like there's a lot of extra space. But when you have larger sub menus, right? Larger menus, okay, we'll use this one as an example here, right? Then it's not going to be so bad because you have more words. Like the word stem, right? If it was just on its own, it was way over here, it would look kind of disproportionate. But we can adjust that text indent. Instead of 2.75 EM, let's make it 15 px. Let's just see what that does. See, that tightens it up, gives you a little bit more room to work with. Okay, so let's play around with that 40 pixels now and see where we're at. Let's go back to our stem page here, which we're using as an example, right? And I'm trying to get it the same width as you have in yours right here, right? So when that pops in, okay, so there we go. You're probably right about there. Okay. Okay, stem, and it's still booming over there. All right, so let's just see what else we can do to make that a little bit. Oh, did I refresh the page? There we go. Side menu solved right there. Get everything on one line, and it looks good. And what I did is I just realigned the sub so that's all the way over, because it gives room for this one right here. The only other option really have is just use fewer characters so that it fits into the button. Okay, now let's take a look at this fella right here. This one right here. Okay, and that is your graphic logo, and it's positioned absolute top 110. So what you need to do here, so we have lines shared, okay. And this is where, yeah, this is where it gets complicated, but hey, yay fun when doing these things for all the different devices. Basically, in many cases, when it comes to little things like logo, graphic logos and stuff, you need to style it for each individual device, and that's using a media query, right? So if we go up here, there's our graphic logo right here, and what we're going to do is we're going to get a media query and reposition it somewhat for smaller devices, right? And actually change the width of the logo. And here's my little cheat. Here's what I do is I go to the Bootstrap CSS, I do a Control F, and I go, okay, at media, and then I just go find next. Okay, this is the one right here, min width. Well, we're going to change it to max width 767 and play around with those numbers. But basically, we're going to copy these 5 lines here, the media query, whatever styles inside, and then make sure we have the 2 closing brackets. This is my cheat. I go over here, I pop that in there, I take the graphic logo, copy this in place of the lead. Okay, so now I can play around with things here. And instead of min, max, so I'm going to say anything 0 to 767, do this information in here, right? So top, well, where are we at there? Top, we need it to be, and I can play around with this stuff right here. Let's go with another 50 pixels. So top, where'd you go there? Let's go with 160. Left, leave it that, but watch this. I'm going to add something else. I'm going to say anything that is an image. Let's set a width of 60% of its original size. So basically what we're saying is this is the graphic logo div container is what we're positioning, but the image and size, we can also target that by saying if there's an image inside that container, we can change it. So let's just see if we can actually, where'd my copy go? This is right here, I think. Okay, so I'm just a little bit off there. So we need to just tweak that number right there. Let's go 768. There it is right there. Okay, so now we can further play around with this, with the blah, 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 blah. So the top, we can go 200, right? And then we can go refresh. Then it comes in down there. We can still push it down even further, like 230. And like so. So now it's in the middle. It's smaller because look, we don't want to have a big old logo there when we don't have that much room. Okay. And I'm going to leave that at that and put it back up to your site. If you want to copy down the theme.css and the shared.css or the whole site, those are the two things I made the changes to. I'll just reformat that. And then you can obviously copy and paste there. So if you need to do that.